Place roads, parks, and buildings in the right patterns to be the best city planner in Shake That City. Thanks for joining me at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Melissa Delp. Today I'm looking at a prototype of Shake That City. It's a tile placement, pattern building game for 1 to 4 players that takes about 30 minutes to play. AEG is bringing it to Kickstarter soon, and they sponsored this overview video. So I won't be giving any opinion or critiquing the game, just showing you what it's like so you can get a feel for it. Each player will have a player board with bonus point tiles surrounding it. These are randomly arranged during setup. It's important, though, that each player's board is set up the same. During the game, you can score points by meeting the requirements. Another main component of the game is the cube shaker. It has wooden cubes in the same colors as the building tiles. The colors that come out and their arrangement will determine what tiles you can place. The game is played over 15 rounds. Each round has 4 phases. Shake the cubes, choose building colors, place building tiles, and perform end-of-round procedures. At the end of 15 rounds, the player who has the most points wins. So here's a closer look at those phases. Each round, there will be one active player. The active player shakes the cubes and then presses the button to deposit a grid of 9 cubes. Next, players choose their building color from those represented in the grid. The active player chooses first, and none of the other players can choose that same color. But that's the only locked color. It's fine if several non-active players choose the same one. The color you choose determines which building tiles you'll collect and where you'll place them. If I choose red as my color, I have to take 3 red tiles. I can't take more or fewer than the number shown. When I place them on my board, I have to arrange them in the same pattern in the same orientation. So a placement like this is fine. It matches the pattern. But this placement doesn't work. I can't rotate or mirror the pattern. The tile placement phase is simultaneous. After everyone has placed their tiles, you finish the round by advancing the round tracker, putting the cubes back in the shaker, and passing it to the next player, who becomes the active player for that round. You'll play 15 rounds and then score points. Each type of tile scores in a different way. There's a reference board which shows the requirements. For example, parks score a point for being adjacent to a house and a point for being adjacent to a factory. The most you can score from any one park is 2 points. You'll also score points by fulfilling bonus tiles. Most of them show 2 requirements, pointing to specific rows and columns on your board. If you fulfill one of the sides, you can flip the tile and score 3 points at the end of the game. The corner tile is looking for 2 tiles of each type in your city. There's a score pad to track your points for each tile type and your bonus tiles. So throughout the game, your main decisions are choosing which pattern of tiles to place. When you're the active player, you're not only thinking about what's good for you and your board, but what you'll be denying the other players. Sometimes there'll be several good options, and other times you'll just have to make do. As the game goes on and your board fills up, your playable options can diminish. To offset that, during the last few rounds, the active player's choice doesn't eliminate that color for other players. Now, Shake That City has some variability built in. The player boards are double-sided with 2 different configurations, landlocked and beachfront. All players need to play on the same side. Some of the tiles score differently on the beachfront side. Those differences are shown on the appropriate side of the reference board. If you'd like a bit more complexity, you can add in the construction variant. During setup, the first player randomly places their construction tiles in a diagonal pattern on their board. Then all other players match that pattern. You're trying to remove the tiles by placing the indicated pair of tiles next to each other anywhere on the board. So this shop and park over here would allow me to remove this tile. In this variant, only the players who remove all their construction tiles will score points at the end of the game. The game also has a solo variant. I'd suggest that you check out Shake That City if you like tile-laying, pattern-building games, if you like simultaneous play, and if you like unique tactile components like the cube shaker. Do you have any favorite unusual components? Maybe the dice pyramid in Camel Up, the electronic tower in Return to Dark Tower, the ship battle board in Dead Reckoning? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'd suggest that you check out Shake That City if you like tile-laying, pattern-building games. Let me try. The electronic tower in Return to the Dark Tower. What's the name of that game?
Yeah.
Return to the Dark Tower or Return to Dark Tower?
Return to the Dark.
And as always, thanks